Story number 1. Zhuangzi dreaming about being a butterfly. Once upon a time, over 2000 years ago, a man named Zhuangzi lay down to sleep. And in his dream, he became a butterfly. Not a man imagining a butterfly, but a real butterfly, fully immersed in its fluttering, drifting life. He floated through the air, danced between flowers. He felt the sun on his wings, and he did not once think about his past. He didn't worry about the future, he was simply a butterfly. But then Zhuangzi woke up, back in his bed, back in his human body, back in the world of names and thoughts and mornings, and that's when the question hit him. Was I, Zhuangzi, dreaming about being a butterfly, or am I now a butterfly dreaming that I'm Zhuangzi? It wasn't a riddle, nor a stupid question. It was the start of a very old and very gentle kind of philosophical doubt. You see, friends, we walk through the world assuming it's solid. That which we touch, hear, and feel is real, but dreams can feel just as real too, when we're in them. When we dream, we don't know that we are dreaming until we wake up. So how can we ever be sure that this isn't another layer of dreaming? Philosophers call this epistemology, the study of what we know and how we know it. Zhuangzi didn't say this to scare us. He said it to soften our grip on certainty. He was part of the Taoist tradition, a way of thinking that doesn't try to control or explain everything. Instead, it watches and it lets things flow. So maybe the point isn't to solve problems. Maybe it's to live gently inside them. Whether you are Zhuangzi or the butterfly, you are alive in a world that feels real. And that's enough. Story number 2. Epictetus and the Circle of Control. There, in a small school, a man named Epictetus taught philosophy, not to emperors or nobles, but to anyone who was willing to listen. He had once been a slave. He walked with a limp, he had no wealth, no political power, and yet his teachings have lasted thousands of years. One of his core lessons was the following: some things are up to us and some things are not. While it sounds simple, it's one of the most powerful ideas in all of Stoic thought. Every day we carry around invisible tension, worrying about the weather or other people's opinions. But Epictetus says, pause. Ask yourself, is this within my control? Your thoughts, your actions, yeah. Your emotions over time? Yes. But the actions of others, the outcome of events, what has already happened? No. Trying to control the uncontrollable is like trying to stop the tide with your hands. You'll only exhaust yourself. So Stoicism teaches us to let go of what isn't yours, focusing on what is: your character, your choices, your calm. That doesn't mean becoming passive. It means becoming free. So tonight, as you settle into bed, take inventory. What worries could be released? You've done what you could today, and the rest, you can gently return to the universe. Story number 3. The Myth of Sisyphus. There's one more story I want to tell you tonight. It's not a soft one, but it has a soft ending. The story comes from Greek mythology, and it's about a man named Sisyphus. He was clever, too clever maybe. He tricked the gods more than once, cheated death, escaped punishment, and bent the rules. So in return, the gods gave him eternal punishment. They forced him to roll a heavy boulder up a mountain. But each time he neared the top, the boulder slipped away, crashing down to the bottom. And Sisyphus would walk back down and start again, forever. It sounds cruel and pointless, and yet thousands of years later, the philosopher Albert Camus reimagined this myth. He said yes, the task is absurd. Yes, life can be repetitive, uncertain, and hard, but that doesn't make it meaningless. Camus wrote, "The struggle itself toward the height is enough to fill a man's heart. One must imagine Sisyphus happy." But why? Well, because Sisyphus still chooses to push. He owns the struggle. He walks down the mountain not as a victim, but as a rebel, defiant, alive, and free. We all have our own boulders, our daily challenges, our cycles, and our routines. And yet, like Sisyphus, we find meaning in the doing. We can shape beauty from repetition. Even a quiet night of sleep is a kind of rebellion. It says, I'm here, I'm human, and I rest because I can. 3 stories, 1 dream, 1 lesson, and 1 rebellion. And each one asks you not to fix anything, not to solve the universe, but simply to be, to notice, to wonder, and to rest.